Sunni and Shia. As you can see, if you anybody has a laser point? I have. So, what is a laser point? Do you recognize this pattern? You want to have a grasp of the, pardon me? Oh, that's right. The mouse doesn't. No, it's not. So, in the middle you can see, this is what we call Iran today. I don't know how many countries have so many neighbors. So, starting from west, in the clock direction. This is one of the first neighbors of Iran. What is this country?
Which one?
I apologize for not being very quick. This one. This one, the very south at the border of the Indian Ocean. What's this country? It's a neighbor of Iran. It's separated by just the third law.
Kuwait?
Oman.
Oman.
It's Oman. And what is this one? This one. The north of Oman.
Yemen.
Gosh, no, Yemen is here. Really mad. I'm wondering if these are not the Emirates
Yes.
altogether.
That's what you want to.
This is Kuwait, the little one here. This is Iraq. We can consider all these as neighbors of Iran, justified by both.
It's just that.
It's also here is territorial neighbor. Then north of Iraq is Turkey. And you don't see it here, it doesn't show because it just shows the Muslim countries, but there are north in east side of Turkey and north of Iran there are three countries. Two of them being neighbor with Iran. One is, yes?
Armenia?
One is Armenia and the other one?
Georgia?
Georgia. Georgia doesn't have a direct neighborhood with them, but Azerbaijan. So you have Azerbaijan there, Armenia here, and on top of Armenia is Georgia. Then you go north of Iran at the east side of the Caspian Sea. That Caspian Sea, as you can see, the beautiful sea is a lake in a way. For the sea, but it's also a lake because it doesn't have any link to any ocean. So you have Turkmenistan. You have Turkmenistan, you have Uzbekistan, and you have Tajikistan that is north of Afghanistan but doesn't have direct land connection with Iran. And then south of Afghanistan you have Pakistan, and then you have India. Well, India is the neighbor of Iran, but Pakistan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. So let's count it. Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkey 7, Iraq 8, Kuwait 9, Saudi Arabia 10, Bahrain is independent, so that makes 11. The Emirates, if you counted one, makes it 12, and Oman makes it 13. We should find another one with 13.
So how many countries?
I counted 13 right now.
Forget Qatar.
And for Qatar,
Yeah.
well,
Bahrain, Qatar.
sure, it depends also if you, Qatar is part of the Emirates.
No.
Qatar is a country.
Countries.
Excellent, so we have 14. We didn't like 13. We have 14 countries. We're able to, that's a lot. I don't think there's any other country in the world that has so many neighbors. It's, in a way, as you can see, you have the Caspian Sea in the north and you have the Persian Gulf in the south. This is a bridge between left and right. It's the only country that separates really all continent in two. So we decided we're going to call this part Western Asia and this part South Asia, and Central Asia is on top there, and we have Eastern Asia. We decided that, wait, we decided that Western Asia is an ethnocentric notion.
Sorry.
Ethnocentric because it says that I am the center of the world. That's the England that says I'm the center of the world. Everything here is west. Here I'm going to the east. And Near East, Lebanon, Syria, Israel, Palestine, and Syria eventually, or Turkey, and then Middle East, Iraq, Iran, sometimes Pakistan, sometimes we do Pakistan, South Asia. It's not a precise term, so depending the author, they can put Pakistan in Western Asia, Middle East, or in Southern Asia with India. After all, Pakistan and India were one before they split. What I say is they were one. If you look at this map, this is Pakistan. This part of Iran is called Balochistan. And this part of Pakistan is Balochistan as well. So Balochistan is divided into two. How is it divided? Well, at the time of colonialism, there were the Portuguese first, but the Portuguese didn't do much. They went here, they stayed for a while, then they went elsewhere. France colonialism was there, but it was more cultural. France was trying to spread ideas, liberty, equality, and also somehow laicism. I mean secularism. In French we say laicism, secularism. These were the ideas that were sometimes also Christianity. You know, some French some French missionary, Christian missionary would go and try to civilize these what they thought of savage people, backward people. But the English, you probably notice I say English, I don't say British, because it was essentially the Englishmen, not the Irish or the Scottish, but the Englishmen. They were looking for business, you know, that's the culture of business, efficiency, you know. So they came in Iran, they came and because this is the politics also, they want to have the influence of all these countries. You know, India was ruled by the British, the English. Now, here is the map of the Sunnis and Shia. You can see Shia is essentially Iran. It just spread a little bit in Iraq, in Afghanistan, not a little bit, quite a bit. In Pakistan somehow, and it goes a little bit in India here. Yeah. I don't want to make a mistake, but it could be
Yemen.
Yemen. What is this one?
Ça, c'est le Yemen.
Yemen, to Yemen, or?
Oui, après,
Non, il y a Koweït aussi.
non, le Koweït, il est là-bas.
Kuwait is here. This little thing there.
L'Irak.
That's why Iraq invaded Kuwait. They say, hey, look at this little one is part of Iraq. So they.
Ça, c'est le Yemen. C'est il est grand, le Yemen. Le Yemen est là. Moi, j'ai vécu 20 ans aux Émirats, donc je connais la région.
Translation, she's been to Yemen and she knows all the region.
No, in Iraq,
In the Emirates.
20 years all my life there. So, la région, je la connais très bien. Donc,
She knows the region.
tout ça, c'est le Yemen. Après, les Émirats arabes unis. Après, il y a Qatar. Qatar, c'est une île en fait.
United Arab Emirates and Qatar. Can you change now the thing? We're going to talk about Shia Sunni in another lesson. Can you change the. You can see now. Okay, this goes all the way here. So this is the Persian Empire, 550 before Christ. It's not complete, of course, and some of it is down here. Thank you. And you can see Khwarazm also becomes also part of the Persian Empire. We decided that Persian Empire, the better name for Persian Empire is Iranian Empire. However, here you can say Persian Empire because it was at the time of Cyrus. Cyrus is the founder, is on the test. Right? Cyrus is the founder of the Persian Empire 2,500 years ago.
What's his name in Farsi?
Kurosh. Thank you for the question. Yeah.
Is the founder for
He's the founder of the Persian Empire. Persian Iranian Empire. Now, because Cyrus was Persian, so he started with this empire being called Persian Empire. And then we continue to say Persian Empire. But I think the better name would be Iranian because Iranian is more, it englobes every Persian myth. Here is the media. Then first, that's Fars of Persian. It's still the province of Fars here somewhere. And so first, Kurosh or Cyrus. I'm not writing the name here because Cyrus, the Great, we call it. And in Persian is Kurosh.
how we can see?
I'm not make you see. You see, the R is the same, the S is the same. If you put something like here, it makes it sh. You know that S and sh, there is no letter for sh, that's why I put an H. So that's why some say kuros and they kuros. So you put your C, kuros. Kuros, kuros. And say, you know that say sometimes pronounced K. So you see the resemblance, that's how it changes. And if I write it in with the Persian Arabic letter, it's even better because this is K, this is U. Now this in could be with U or O. So you see, it could be U or O. So different people will be reading it differently. And then you have a Re, which we have. And then we have, this is Kuros, or Koros.
Shouldn't there be a page?
There's no sh. So we put 3 dots here to make it sh. So you just forget to put the dot, it's Kuros, Rosh, and Cyrus, or Cyrus.
You have the sign over the top of
Page.
What?
Over Ray. Page.
So you want something like this?
Yeah.
now it's good.
Yeah,
But
Korosh.
this is an O,
Now it's good.
but not all the time they put these little signs. Because it's so little,
Oh.
they give the rate, or for example,
What kind of the writing Persians have before Arabs?
well, there was cuneiform, you see, cuneiform. At times Cyrus, as they call cuneiform.
How should they have, you know?
No, I can't let me see. But it's more like this. It's like names. Names. Go to next, please, to next one. So this is on the test, please. 1 point. Rush. He is the founder of Persian Empire. So 550, now we were 200, so that's more than 25, almost 2,600 years. Now, what Kurosh is important in another respect. He is known as to be the first. He left the cylinder. On this cylinder, he said how he conquered what is today Iraq, but at that time it was Mesopotamia. It was the Akkadian and Babylonian. So when he went there, he entered without sweating blood. You know, he entered as a victor, but it was acclaimed by the population. He didn't start killing. And he said in this, it's a big stone like this, that is still here, but in cuneiform, he said, I was sent by Ahura Mazda. Ahura Mazda is the god. And to help people to practice their own religion, their own habits, their own traditions. So he's known as the first author of human rights somehow, or at least multiculturalism. Because he was there, when he entered, for example, a country, Babylonia, he respected their gods, their traditions, and their way of living. Yes, sir. Cyrus. This is why Iranians are very proud of their culture, their foundation somehow. Their culture has changed, but the foundation was something to be proud of. That everywhere he went, and that's why he actually managed to have this empire, because he respected people and respected their tradition. And he left actually some people of the place, the locals, to continue ruling. Okay. And oh, I'm sorry. Well, can you change, please? I'm gonna pretty soon. This is You see the same, it's almost the same empire. Now it's Alexander's empire. It's still the Iranian empire, but it's got the Persian empire, it's the Macedonian, if you wish, because the king is Macedonian. But it's still the Iranian empire. So when you say Alexander's empire, then they don't say Kursh's empire, but here they say Alexander's empire. And then you see the Alexander's route, he goes all the way to India and today Pakistan. Could you change please? And then in Psalm 632, 621 is the year 0. 621, 622 equal 0. That means 621 after Christ is the beginning of the Muslim calendar. So for the Muslim is the year 0. I'm going to write it here where there's more light. 621 equal 0 for the, that's 6 kind of like Jesus Christ, right? And 0 is Islam. We call it Hijrah.
Hijrah, it's not really Muslim.
Hijrah, you write it here. Hijrah means migration. So that's when the Prophet Muhammad migrated from Mecca to Medina. He was living in Mecca, he went to Medina, and after that, his community started growing. So a history starts, a Muslim history starts. It's a history of fighting, essentially. He has several wars, and he managed to be victorious on many of them, and growing population. They would attack caravans, actually. They would attack other Arabs, and they take their whatever they have, their belongings, and they would distribute between Muslims. New Muslims, because they're all new Muslims. So if I was there, I'd say, I'm going to join you, hey, I'm going to get rich. Instead of, especially they're strong and they're winning the wars. So that's how it was appealing to people. But also he had a message. The message was also appealing, the message of unity. Allah, everybody's heard about Allah. Allah is what? God.
He's one.
But how many of you know that Allah was actually the name of an idol? No. The same Kaaba that today millions, hundreds of millions of Muslims go and do their pilgrimage, the same Kaaba existed before Islam. All the Arab tribes, each tribe had its own god, its own idol, and they would respect each other and go to the Kaaba, and each tribe would give respect to its own god. The Quraysh tribe, which Muhammad belonged to, had as an idol the idol named Allah. So when you hear the famous sentence of Islam, La ilaha illallah, there is no God but God, that doesn't make sense. There is no God but God. No, there is no God but Allah. All other idols go away. We keep just one.
Excuse me.
That's Allah.
Excuse me.
I have a question.
Two, first, second. Yes.
The first of all, like what I know, I don't know, but it's not happened like that. When the Prophet Muhammad had the message from God, he just explained that society because they were trusting the Muhammad, and then they look at the Muhammad aspects differently, and then they try to kill, or like murder to his friends and area, and then they make that group to force to move to Medina, which is another city.
Right.
And then he started to get more supporter and stuff. and then they try to back to Mecca, which is they believe that it's a like holy area. They
Yeah.
wanna do pray, and then the people come to pray. But like what we said, that like I don't know. They want.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Actually,
There was the
Kaaba,
message,
sorry.
but there was also the war, and there was also the fact that there were many idols, and one of them was Allah.
Yeah, no, but the Kaaba existed way before the Arabs because that was the
That's what I
house, the
said.
first house for worship that was built by the father of Abraham.
Abraham.
Right?
Ismail.
So Ibrahim.
Ismail and Ibrahim together.
And Ismail, well, Ismail is not the father, it's the son. So, it didn't even exist. It existed prior. So if you go back in history,
Isn't that what I said?
So that's
no,
what it
you stopped at Quraysh, at the Arabs, at Muhammad, but you didn't go back prior to that.
No, I didn't go back further, but I did
But
go
that's
back
not the
before
inception.
the
And
Islam.
this
This
Of
is
Ghana.
not in Iran, this is in Saudi.
Yeah.
So what is
It's not in Saudi. Saudi didn't
what
exist
is
at
the
that time. It's in
rapport?
Arabia.
What is the rapport between Iran and le Kaaba? Je ne comprends pas.
Why? I don't understand first of all.
Yeah, like,
Like
why
what
are
she's
we-
asking.
The
The question,
relationship
you cannot hear.
Relationship Just between talk about Muslims wait. and like how.
Yeah.
Okay, but like if we wanna check the Shia, we supposed to give him now, so he can
No, we're
explain.
going to talk about Shia Sunni later, not today. So just want to tell you that the 621, that was the Hijrah, and I say what the Hijrah was. They're going from Muhammad from Mecca to Medina because in Mecca he couldn't really live. They were
And the
bothering him.
explanation of his message.
And he went to Medina, and then he get the strength to start having a bigger community. I'm making it short, okay? The map doesn't show everything, but it goes there, and that's in 602. That's the conquest of Muhammad, and he thank you. That's what I want to show. So it goes to what used to be the Persian Empire, right and left, and it's like a game of. Have you played that game called? No. You just the whole empire collapse and someone else become the ruler.
Oh, divide and
Risk,
conquer.
yeah, risk. It's like risk. So, of course, it didn't. It takes some time. 622, then 6. No, bring it up. You can see. Yeah, there are different colors. So, it tells you each date when they advance. We're not going to stop very much on this. You can see, but it takes some time, some years, for the new Muslim Arabs to conquer the Iranian Empire. So here is 632, conquest of Muhammad, conquest of the first four caliphs, 656, this color, conquest of the Umayyad, 2750, and then subsequent is an expansion. Can you have the other one, please? Here is another showing of where the war happened. Well, Empire under Muhammad is here. And Oman, hey, by the way, we have Oman there, you can see. And we have Yemen here. And then, and just have a look and see how the expansion, but it takes some years before it goes close to India. Okay, so what happened to Iranians? Well, they became Muslim because they say, do you want to become Muslim and share all the spoil of the war with us, or you want to just be our captive and your wife and your daughter as well? And we also might cut your head. I think I'm very courageous. My name is Shuja'uddin, but I would probably say I'm a Muslim. Okay. And that's how somehow, and even today, Islam, you can see the Al-Qaeda. What does Al-Qaeda means? Some people.
Center.
Pardon me?
It's center.
It's base.
Based. Another word also. It's not only based. You know Arabic, right?
Yeah.
So Al-Qaeda,
It is base.
it means base. It also means rule. Al-Qaeda is also ruling. So it's, the base is also the rule of Islam. So,
Sorry, sir, it's not the rule of Islam.
It's the rule
of
of
fanatics. So let's just be clear.
well, yeah, no, but that, we're not going to, it's...
But
for
if the
them-
radical people
for
decide
them-
to choose this name, it doesn't affect Islam.
Hold on, hold on. I know it's a very sensitive subject,
Exactly.
and I'm really going to bring it up. But I'm telling you why they put this name. I'm not saying why you put this name. For them, this is the rule of Islam. For you, it's not. For me, I don't know. But for them, that was the rule of Islam. Yeah.
Just to clarify, what was exactly the religion before they became Muslim in Iran?
In Iran, it was multi-religious. Essentially, it was Zoroastrian. It was Zoroastrian, but
Zoroastrian?
it was supposed to be
It was fire
multicultural
something.
and multi-religious. For example, the Jewish lived in Iran since Cyrus conquered Babylonia. Some of the Jewish were freed to go back to Israel. Some went to Shush and went to Iran. So went to it. And they still, these are Jewish that live in Iran, have their descendant who goes back to 2,500 years ago. And that's why when I'm in Iran, I'm a Muslim. I was born Muslim. And my Jewish neighborhood is more Iranian than Jewish. What it means that is because it's more ancient than me. I'm a new Muslim. I'm only 1,400 years old, but he's 2,500 years old. So I owe him respect because he's more Iranian than I am. So Armenians, part of the Iranian Empire, are Christians. By the way, Armenians were Zoroastrians before they became Christians. Next one, if there's any other more, and we're going to finish with that and go to, what is this one? Khazar is actually, empire which is Caspian, means Khazar actually. Is it information of Khazar? So we have the Ghaznavid rulers now that are ruling when I was in at school in Iran, I was a kid, and I learned history, and I said, this is history of Iran, and I said, why is Iran there? Should be here. You know, I couldn't understand what's going on, because I have in my mind that Iran is the map that is today showing. But during time, Iran was different places. So it's a feudality finish. It's not a nation state. We have a Shah here, we have a Shah there, we have a Shah here. And they somehow either fight or collaborate with each other in terms of power. And one wants to get more power than the other. Shah, the king of the kings. Or Shah-e-Shahan. Can you have next one and maybe the last one? They're the same. You have the Fatimid here, of course, the Egyptian, Egypt. You have the Seljuk Turks, we talked about it the other day. So there are different government, if you wish, entities governed by some rulers. And we have here Hijaz. So the Arabs are here in Hijaz. Mostly this part is non-inhabited. It's too hot, it's a desert. So it's inhabited. I remember, do you know Khomeini? Who doesn't know who's Khomeini? Raise your hand. One. Khomeini? Two, three, four. Thanks for raising your hand. You encourage other people. Khomeini is Khomeini is the mullah. What's a mullah?
That's the long term.
It's a Muslim priest, Muslim Shiite priest. in
How do you
Iran.
spell it?
M-U-L-L-A-H.
Mullah, you can write it to whatever you want. Mullah, because it's not written in Roman alphabet.
That
anyway.
mullah.
That's Mullah.
Yeah.
You read that, but it's going to translate the way you want.
So this is different to Mullah.
Mullah.
Well, he's a
Mullah or mullah?
religious, he's a religious leader, okay? Who led the Islamic Revolution in Iran in 1979. So when is the Islamic Revolution in Iran? 1979. But 1979 is the year of the victory of Islamic Revolution. It started in 1978. It didn't happen in one day. It took a year or more. People were going by millions in the street and they would say, "Man, Bar, Shah." Death to victory. Or they say, Azadi, Istiqlal, Azadi, Jumhuri Islami, which means Istiqlal is what?
Freedom.
No,
Istiqlal?
Istiqlal means
Istiqlal means steadfast.
independence.
Yeah, freedom, independence.
Istiqlal. Azadi means, Istiqlal is Arabic actually. Azadi means freedom, and in Persian, and Jumhuriya Islami means
Republic.
Pardon me? Istiqlal. Don't worry about that. I'm going to write it down, but not now because it's dark.
Yeah, I don't think.
Dark. I just want to tell you that Khomeini never said Saudi Arabia. He would say Hijaz. He would refer to Hijaz. Hijaz is under the hands of bad people, you know. Or not real Muslims, American Muslims. Turn, please. Next one. Thank you very much. Thank you. You are supposed today to, according to